Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'm back again because we were talking marriage, married at first sight, love and relationships, y'all. I love love and relationships. But since you're here, real quick, can you hit the like button just in the beginning? Just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, and then let's just get going because we are talking about married at first sight. We're talking love and relationships, which is so important. And I just really feel for people because I've been there and done that, waiting for that your love to come because you know you deserve it. Do y'all understand? Do y'all get married at first sight? What do y'all think about it? What do you think about marrying a complete stranger? Somebody you've never seen, but putting your trust in the hands of these counselors, these marriage counselors that put you together based on the questions you've answered. I was kind of in something similar, but not really, because I was able to see my husband. Um, it's a good conversation. We're going to talk about it later. But right now, we're going to talk about Stacia and Nate. Let me just show you guys these two, and then we're really going to get into it. All right, here you go. Stacia and Nate. When they saw each other coming down the aisle, they were both happy. Aren't they a pretty couple? These two are a good looking couple. They just are. They're good looking. They match. But we all know that is not enough to sustain a relationship. But has anybody had that reaction when maybe a friend hooked you up with somebody? You're like, oh, he's fine. And he's looking at you like, oh, she fine. Or whatever. They like what they see. You like what you see. Hormones start going crazy. That's what these two give you. Because when you see these two, they're kissing from the very beginning. They're taking showers together. We don't know when they really consummated, honestly. But they were very lovey-dovey. I liked it. But that's because I like love. I love relationships. And the beginning of the relationship is always so exciting. But let's talk about who they were before they finally took this step of marry at first sight. Because what makes you do this? Well, she's like 37. She's a little older than him. I think he's like, oh, I didn't write his age down. But I think she's a little bit older than him. Maybe he's 35 or something, 34. Oh my God, that 37 is a scary age to be single, no kids, and you're that pretty. And not only is she pretty, she's very well established. She's very well established. She's like a real estate investor. I think she has her own brokerage. So don't get me a line, but she's like a real estate investor. I think she's an accountant on top of it. I mean, this girl has credentials, and she's her own boss. She does very well financially, and she just bought her own a new home. Might not be, it's not her first home, but one for her to live in, and now her new husband. Mm. I like Stassi. She is totally an alpha, but Stasia, she has her quirks. She's gonna have to really do some reeling in, but that stuff doesn't happen in 8 weeks. When you start letting all your walls down and let yourself be vulnerable and gullible and all that good stuff, it's gonna take a minute. He's gonna really have to prove himself. I like about Stasia? She wanna know your credit score off the cuff. I agree. I do, ladies. When you're your own boss and you've established so much on your own, you don't want anybody coming there trying to that's gonna wreck your stuff. You might want to. You can listen to the story, and I don't mean that in a facetious way. I mean for real. You can listen to the what happened and what you're doing to repair. A credit score doesn't say everything. You need to really pay attention to that person because it is a red flag, but it's not one that cannot be repaired and fixed, and it doesn't have to get in the way of you having love. So I'm glad that she's giving Nate a chance because Nate seems like he's a good dude. He's not just good looking. Nate looks like he's there because he's ready to love too. You know, some people come on these shows and you can tell they was playing from the moment they stepped on the show. The looks, he said, see, what I like about him is he's transparent. He said in the very beginning, looks matter to me. Don't bring me somebody I can't look at. He done showed them his portfolio in the beginning of the physical attributes of women that he likes. Can we be very real and transparent, y'all? Looks matter to me. But is it 100%? No. But I have to be able to say I'm physically attracted to you. But that doesn't mean that you're the finest thing on earth. Now, let's just say that. What he's learned in time is that pretty wasn't everything, but it does something. It does matter. So for the both of them, they were just very happy with what they saw walking down that aisle. They were probably the two most loving, or should I say, intimate couples from jump. That's that infatuation. I hope have y'all experienced that? I mean, you know, I'm hoping we got grown folks on here, and even if you're young, because it starts when you're young. You're really very infatuated when you're younger because you don't even know what love really is. But maybe you don't even have an appreciation for yourself yet to know what you deserve. So a lot of times you settle for stuff you didn't, that you should have done better, but you accepted it because it was fine. Just real talk. But as you grow within yourself and you know what you really deserve and you desire, then you won't be looking just for looks. You're going to want from everybody from the inside out. So these two, they definitely had their ups and downs. This is what I have to say about Stassi from jump. First of all, they said yes. Let's just get that out the way. They both said yes. They're enjoying each other. And they want to figure it out. The little quirks, because that's what a real relationship is. The little quirks, you can work through those as long as you know how to have those conversations. And yes, they had their ups and downs, the blow ups and stuff, but as long as you know how to come back. And, you know, there has to be a lot of stress when you're trying to settle down with somebody in 8 weeks. You're trying to get to know the foundation of this person in 8 weeks. It's not even that, doesn't even sound like it's that realistic. What I can say is why I think this show works is that if you get people who you can check the right boxes, the foundation, the things that say is strong. I'm attracted to you. Yes. You have good morals. I appreciate your morals. I appreciate your work ethics. I appreciate our conversation. The things that say we have something strong to build on, even if I haven't seen your quirks yet. And then your quirks will actually make or break where we're at. But can you imagine the stress? So what I'm saying is these two, he's emotional, but he's quiet. But he shows his emotions. I love that about him. He shows who he is. He shows I like you. I got tattoos. I got a tattoo. She want to hear it. I need you to say you love me. She's a box checker. I was very concerned about her for a minute. She's controlling. She is. And then she's a little OCD. So I'm glad I got a chance to see more footage of those two together where she does soften a little bit because she's very bossy. When she says she wants them, she wants it, and she wants it when she says it. I can so relate to her to a certain point because that's alpha women. And when you've been your own boss for so long, and when you go into your late 30s and 40s and you have to establish everything for yourself and you've been a boss, you kind of have a certain way that says you're not going to get in my way. I want to love you, but you're going to have to be about it, whatever. She's that person, but she's a little OCD with it. But it sounds like she's willing to try to work. Just in some of the stuff, you can see that it was hard for her. Because one thing that made it real hard for me watching Stassi, and it still does. I still don't see. I saw some, but not enough softness. Like when she was being asked questions about Nate, But when he was expressing how he took her to throw the what those axes, and what did he take her bowling or something like that, or something that he enjoys doing, jet skiing, something that he enjoys doing, and he enjoyed that, and he enjoyed in taking her out to do something new. She didn't really show a real appreciation for that. She talked about it, and she talked about how she did it, and because she knew it was going to make him happy, but her face was really harsh. Like he says, you don't give me enough credit for at least trying. And I just want to see her soften up a little bit more. Just be a little more lovey-dovey and be glad that he's trying to take those steps to be a leader with Stassi, because she already knows how to lead. But she needs to know how to let a man who wants to lead and who's willing to take the effort to lead. And show some appreciation for it. And then, if that's not what you're really for, still be happy and have fun in his fun, because that's how relationships go anyway. Y'all not gonna want to always do the same things. It's just not. You just not. But you have to know how to compromise and have fun in his fun, and they have fun in your fun, and then you try to find a happy medium somewhere in the middle. She needs to express to him the stuff she really wants to do. Because when they were on that reunion and they were talking about when he was taking a axe throwing or whatever, and I can't remember if it was like jet skiing or something that she just really wasn't that interested in, but she did it. The next question should have been, what do you like? So he needs to really ask her the question, what do you like doing? So he can do that, so he can make reservations and do something that it is of your liking. You just have to know how to compromise. I like these two. Oh, I hope they work out. I'm glad that they're not letting people dictate to them how they should be in their marriage. Because what they did say is that they still have two dwellings, but they're always together. Smart. Especially on Nate's part. Because Nate, and I don't believe you have no 8-month lease. I think you know how to make sure you're going to be solvent and stable in this relationship before you combine and go into her house, because it is her house. I love the fact that it was a good compromise and that they stay between the two houses, but that they're always together, and do that for 8 months is a good target date, Nate. Good number to really figure out where she's going to soften up and where you're going to fit in her surroundings in the home that she's purchased for herself. If it's a new purchase, because I want to say it's a new purchase for her, I really feel like the two of them can be whole in that house. And she lets him put some mannish stuff in there, whatever makes him feel good with the decorations and stuff. Because it's not like something she has had forever. So that it's something that they can actually combine their funds and make it their home. I don't know what her down payment was, but I'm going to say this. When you really love somebody and you realize that's my mate, eventually the dollar signs, it just doesn't matter. As long as you know you have a man that you know is who you chose for yourself, because he is a hard worker. He is creative. He's established, he's hustling with what he does. It makes you feel secure because you trust where he is financially, because financials matter. They should. Women, stop taking in these men and taking care of them. Make them be men. Get a job and be glad to go. If it's that simple, let it be that simple. But when you have somebody like her who is very well established in what she does and financially secure, you kind of gotta come with it. Be financially secure. But you don't have to be rigged. You have to be motivated. You have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to be a part, or have your own thing that you're hustling and doing very well in, or it's something that has to show that you can combine and be that motivated power couple. A power couple does not mean the dollars are always the highest yet. It means, but together we can grow. And then, of course, have that emotional base. I feel like he's more emotional than her. I think she just has a big wall up. I think she's been disappointed a lot. Like she says, she intimidates men. See, I was the same way, y'all. I just was. Because, like her, I bought real estate young. I was having fun. And I'm a registered nurse. I just retired a year ago. Thank you. But I'm living. I told you guys we're going to talk one day because I met my husband online and I'm going to tell you about my profile because I wasn't playing. I was really surprised that he came because if you came to me after what I put on my profile, you must be about it. And we've been married ever since. We're 10 years in, together 12, married 10. They're out there. These two, it looks like she has a very tough exterior, but she really likes him. I hope no major red flags come up from him. I'm glad he was transparent about the fact that he had a business at one time that went bankrupt. So she can't say she don't know about it. I hope she did look at his credit score. I hope they talked about it. Just be transparent because these two are a very cute couple. Now, this whole thing with kids, I get her because she's 37. Oh my God. She don't have a whole bunch of time to wait to have babies. So she wants to try to make this work, figure him out, get together, let's start having babies. And he's like, we could wait like 2 or 3 years. And I get that because don't you want to be with somebody first? You want to have fun first. So this is a hard position to be in as a woman because, see, men, they can keep having babies in their 60s. Women, it's not that we can't, but the risk is worse. Your eggs, is my child going to be okay? Are they going to have a disability? And this is as real as it gets. And I know technology has, enhanced, has really evolved, and women are having babies in their late 40s and 50s. Why? I just don't know. I don't even know whether it's fair for a child, but they're doing it. So I think that's going to be one of their issues, but maybe not. Because literally, if those two stay on fire for each other and are transparent and have real conversations, but be loving, Stacia, I know it's only been 8 weeks, probably been longer now. I just need you to loosen up. You've been so harsh and stoic, and you sit there, and this man is just he's just as nice, but he's not sweet. He's a nice guy. I don't mean anything by this, but I'm just saying he's not, what's his name, came at him like he was gay or something. He's not. He's just a nice guy. And I think he's going to be patient with her because he really likes her. I think she's going to have to learn how to communicate with him. And I think she tries. I was glad to see it because at first I was like, oh, this is not going to work. When she wanted him to say, I love you, and it's been 2 weeks. And I'm thinking, where is that realistic in anybody's world? Stacia, you guys are so infatuated with each other, but don't get that confused. But he's very real. I love that. He's very well with his perception of people and situations. The way he expresses what he sees, he's so on target half the time. He takes time and thinks before he speaks. They're a good couple. Nice balance. Balance is so important. And he's going to soften her. And whatever his quirks is, he's going to fix them. Because I think those two are going to make it work. I'm excited for them. They're a beautiful looking couple. And even when you see them together having conversation, you feel a good energy from them. But I'm still gonna say, Stacia, and I know you have this OCD, and so you're gonna have to work on it. And the control issue, which is understandable, but he's a man and he's gonna be your husband. You have to work on that. And I think, Nate, as long as you stay transparent and don't be lying and don't hide anything and throw everything on the table, and then just keep loving and supporting and become a part. I'm really am going to say this thing about the house situation. Now, Stacia, I don't know what kind of money, I don't know what you put down on your home, but y'all get that year in, you can establish a lot in that year that says, I'm good, we ain't going nowhere. Hopefully all the little quirks have been seen, and you can make that house a us house. You know, California becomes community property anyway, but there's ways to get around that. I can see really holding on to it if you've had it like 10 years on your own, and then to try to share everything you've done with somebody else. That's one thing. That's a whole different situation. Let's go buy our own house together because this is still my property. But if you just moved into that house within a year and you got this great guy who wants to be your husband, and now you've been together and you guys are paying bills together, and you see that he's doing his part. And now in the beginning, don't have him paying that mortgage. There are documents you can sign. I'm just saying. And just always pay your own mortgage. But you can't do that forever in a relationship, and is in a marriage. You cannot. If it's a new property, and in that first year or 2 years, you see that y'all happy and y'all not going anywhere, and you allow him to participate in paying for the mortgage, just it's gonna become community property, and be okay with that. Cause you're a real estate investor anyway. You're gonna buy more houses, and you guys are gonna buy houses together, and y'all gonna be tearing them houses up and building them together and reselling them and whatever else together. Girl, you're gonna be so happy. And I get Stacia because I kind of was her. You establish your own life and you start buying property and stuff like that, and you really don't have a need, you have a desire for me. I don't need you, but I want you. But I don't need you. If you left tomorrow, ain't nothing gonna fall to pieces. Because that's definitely who she is. When I met my husband, and I don't know how long it took, but my husband, we were just such a good match. But I had my guard up. I want to say it took a few years before I started chipping away at where we're going to share and where we're going to. But he threw everything in the pot. He never cared. My husband does very well. And he's always just said, here, just take it. Here, you manage it. I'm going to make you take it. Yeah, it came upon me. Okay, I've had my property for years. It's definitely ours now. Because we ain't going nowhere. And he's proven himself. And we're going to buy more. So hopefully with that, and I'm just so fixated on that because it's probably one of the hardest things to do as a woman, and you work so hard for something, to share it. So I just feel like for her, how much attachment do you really have to this home that you can't make it a partnership, as long as he's proven himself to be true as far as working hard, making his money, paying his bills. If his credit is bad, rebuilding his credit. Because don't let credit be the reason. That does not necessarily say who he is as a person. It says he might have had some issues in it back in the day, but a good woman, honey, can change any good man. And I do mean a good man. Good men can have problems in the past. A good woman can bring the best out of a good man, and he can be great. So I just like sharing. That's basically it for them. I like him. I'm worried about the whole kid thing though. But as long as he enjoys this whole first year, y'all get some travel together, have a lot of fun together. Maybe, whatever y'all do at your age. My husband and I, when we first got together, we partied. Oh my God. We thought we was 21 again. It was in our 40s. We had so much fun. So I get that with Nate. He wants to enjoy you one-on-one first, because once you put a child into the mix, it's a whole new thing. And it can cause a whole different kind of stress if you are not solid. So be solid first. Stacia, I get it. You're 37. Make it to 39, maybe. Maybe be pregnant by 38 and have a baby at 39, and give y'all at least 2 good years of just the two of you before you decide to share. And by that time, he'll probably be ready too. It's that kind of love that says, I want a family with you. All that kind of stuff happens. Very good, very cute little couple. I'm very glad that that they both said yes. And they just seem to be melting with one another. Because I was worried about her for a minute. But when she kept wanting him to say, I love you, and was mad about it, and was clowning him about it, like, and telling him stuff like, I just don't feel like you're taking this serious. And he was like, you don't think this tattoo on my hand was serious? He said, because I haven't said it, I show it to you. And I agree with him. Girl, sometimes it's just words, but his actions were saying everything. But she was like, it's about to be a deal breaker. It had been 2 weeks. She was so fixated, and that's that OCD. She was fixated on it. It was like, girl, let it go. This guy likes you. And he's showing it to you, and he's telling you he's showing it to you. So somewhere down the line, she's just learning how to bring the little walls down. You know, this is the thing about relationships. We know that we all go through so much trying to meet the right person and so much disappointment that those walls start coming up. And then when that good man gets in front of you, you don't know exactly how to act, but what you're not going to do is drop them walls. Let's talk love and relationship. We're going to talk about it because I want to tell you about my computer love. And I want to hear about your love. Are you married? Are you single? What are you doing to meet your mate? Would you go to this extreme though? Married at first sight and let somebody else fix you up and you ain't never seen them? And then you got to spend this 8 weeks trying to figure out if you want them or not? Oh, wow. That's scary. But that shows you, and I hate to use the word the desperation, but kind of that people will go through for companionship and for love because we want it. The Lord sent my husband to me. I always say it's divine. And I'll share it with you guys because it was divine. But I ended up going online. We'll talk about it. These are some people who aesthetically are beautiful on the outside. And I always have people ask me that, why are you still single? Oh, I said, hate that. Are you one of those people that people say, you got this great personality, you're hardworking, and you're attractive. Why are you still single? You're like, because I'm still looking for my mate. I'm waiting for my mate to find me or whatever. This is as real as it gets. What do you think about Married at First Sight? What do you think about Stacia and Nate? Do you think they're going to make it? And what's going on with you? Let's talk about you. We talk about all these people on TV. Let's talk about you. I promise I'm going to share my love journey. And I hope you guys can relate to it and come on and then let's talk about it. Let's talk about your love journey. Have you met your max yet? And what are you doing to get there? What are you doing? Y'all have a good night. It's Friday. Be safe. Can you like this video so we can get it in rotation? And subscribe if you're not a subscriber. You know, it's a new channel. And, you know, trying to find my space here. But I want to have fun. And fun is just not some of these realities. I talk about them, but I'm more like the behavior. I like the behavior. And what can we do? What are we doing in our lives so that we don't make the same mistakes that some of these people make? You know, but when we talk about love and relationship, let's really talk about that. I just have some really good insight, things you want to share. Let's put it on the table and then let's fix it. And then let's find our mates, you guys. Again, I did meet my husband online after I don't know how many years of dating different people and stuff. And I'm going to tell you how it all happened. And we've been happily married for the past, it'll be 10 years and together for 12. Y'all have a good night. Thank you for coming out and signing up, whatever. Stop dropping in and watching Candace Speaks. And don't forget to smile. Put some sunshine on it. And I will see y'all next time. Hit the notification button. Smile. Have a good night.